Welcome to Planet Pluto.
Bravo, whoop, whoop, tango, tango, tango. Hey, hey, what's happening, good people? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha Wright, aka Key Lolo. And I just have to say this. Apparently, we're having a problem on Instagram from StreamYard. We're gonna have to talk to StreamYard. First, I couldn't get LinkedIn. Now I can't get Instagram. I don't know what the French toasted bologna sandwich is going on here, but anywho, I did have it up there, so maybe it'll come back on. I'm not quite sure, but it says we're having trouble streaming to Instagram. So let's just see what they will do. Okay, let's see if they'll get it on there. Not quite sure what's going on, but anywho, it's me, your homegirl Ladosha Wright, and we are about 84 episodes in. That's right, and it's all about how to promote your beauty and barber beauty business. And we have the one and only Mr. Latif Hughes is going to be in the chat with us tonight. So if you are in the beauty business, the barber business, and you're like, you know what? I think I did something wrong because I can't get no customers up in here. That's probably like the biggest, man, when I tell you that is one of the biggest concerns about opening up your business is how to get customers. So you may not be a cosmetologist, you may not be a barber, you may not be a nail tech, you may not, be an esthetician. Maybe you're just like, thinking about having my own business, but I don't know that tonight is the show for you. So again, I'm Ladosha Wright, aka Key Lolo, and then right over there, y'all know who that is, right? It's the one and only my BMF. That's right, my PNC. Cheryl Morrow, aka the Hair Oracle. What's happening, Captain?
What's happening? Goddamn.
Oh,
what's going on with Instagram?
She came out like Mr. Cow. God. I don't know. It says once you're live, if your stream is public, you'll find it at the top. I don't know, but I'm here. I'm not going to remove it because I don't know, but it's there. I can't seem to figure this thing out, but anywho, yeah, so here we be. We're here. We're live. Anything happening over in your neck of the woods now that we have a new pope from Chi-Town? Can y'all see Kanye? We gonna pray this party off, right? We gonna pray. We gonna pray. We gonna pray this party off, right? Chi-Town. He is American. We have an American pope, and they said he's already been poking at J.D. Vance before he became the pope. So this is going to be interesting. Any Catholics in the chat? Any Catholics? Okay, no Catholics. Okay, all right. This ought to be pretty good. So what you think about an American Pope?
I'm not Catholic.
Yeah, no, you're not Catholic. Okay. Well, I actually thought they were going to pick the African guy, but anywho, because is anybody? Could it just be me? Who else is feeling President Ibrahim Traore? I mean, goodness gracious, he is like Alicia Keys.
He is steadfast.
This president's on fire. He is not letting up.
He's doing it.
He's doing the thing. What's up, LB? I see you in the chat. You ain't said nothing about my bologna sandwich in this chat, but that's okay. We got Selena. What's happening, Selena AG? How's it going? Well, you know what, Selena come in the chat. She's like, I better get my discount. Don't worry, I got you. It's Mother's Day. So, of course, I want to hook you up for Mother's Day. So, stick around so you can see what do I have for Miss Selena for Mother's Day, okay? So let's like, let's go show. It's being so nice to me. Yes, because she's wonderful. She's a wonderful guest at the Reverend Design Team Hair Salon. Just like this podcast. And in case some of you are just kind of scrolling, what'd you say about my bologna sandwich? You ate that bologna sandwich, girl. You know what? Don't make me go up in the Shaker Heights. Anywho, I digress. So, in case you are new to the platform and you're wondering, oh, what have I scrolled upon? I hear a lady talking about promoting the business of bologna sandwiches and popes and presidents. This is a very interesting.
What do you think about that? Who was your favorite outfit in the Met Gala?
My Tiana Taylor. She had the pimp. She was smacking that can. She had that do rag. I'm giving it to Tiana. There was some other people that was, I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, come on now.
For real.
Not gonna make Diana Ross.
Well, that's the boss. But I still think Tiana Taylor kind of trumped a little bit.
I think it's a tie between Tiana and
I mean, it was the boss. I did play Diana Ross. I was so right. Hey, and I just missed emotions. Hey, on and on. Y'all better listen to that. Who was the boss? Ooh, that was the jam, wasn't it, Cheryl?
Yeah, it was.
Did you guys know that Cheryl's favorite music is disco music? I still cannot get over it.
Why?
You look like a jazz lady, like a Thelonious Monk. You look like one of them.
Of course.
Weekay, don't you like one of them jazz? One of them.
I love.
She's just like all that culture. That jazz. What's the other jazz guy?
I don't like the
Train. Miles Davis.
I love all of that.
All the jazz, like bitches brew. I'm like, huh?
My favorite crooner actually is Johnny
Mathis.
No, Johnny.
Taylor, get it up, shake it down, moving in.
Johnny Hartman.
I don't know. I know Mary Hartsky. That's the only Hart I know. They don't know, Cheryl. They don't know about Mary Hartsky.
But as a genre, disco. Dance, house, warehouse.
When Mr. Latif come in, I want to find out Mr. Latif. That's going to be our guest. We're about to bring him in momentarily. He is a dear friend of mine. He is probably tired of me, but Father's Day is coming, so I'll have some way to reclaim because I forgot to tell him that he was on tonight. So he was like, "You just wait to the last minute." I did because I've just been so busy. Yate, you're gonna love this. Y'all just. Hey, this one is for us, Yate. We about to get the scoop on how to promote our business. I got my home, my jig and my jerv, my jelly preserve. Mr. Latif is about to come in. They don't know nothing about that. I will say it again. My jig and my jerv, my jelly preserve. Okay. All right. So yeah, it's going down. But yes. So Wike says she loves disco. Wike, you don't look like you old enough to love disco music. All right. If you love disco music like the Hair Oracle, then drop a dance emoji in the chat. I will make sure I do that. Come on, drop that dance emoji. Cheryl, do you have a favorite disco hit or does
for my 50th birthday?
Here she go.
For my 50th birthday party, everybody came in. The whole theme was dance music, right? Mm-hmm. And so everybody had a little record and then says a centerpiece, blah, 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 right? That was the theme. And so for my 50th birthday, I counted down the 50 top dance songs of all time.
Oh my God.
And man.
Which one did you like?
I think number one was Ring My Bell.
Oh shoot! You can ring my bell. Come on, y'all. Ring my bell. Ting-a-ling-a-ling. Ooh, I didn't realize that was disco.
It's disco.
I didn't realize Ring My Bell was disco. I thought that was kind of like 90-ish. It was like 89. Ring My Bell.
70s. It was 70s.
Oh, 70s was Ring My Bell. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Okay, I'm out of my element here. Okay, I said your parents listen to my parents love disco too. You one of my favorite disco.
one of the reasons why I picked disco, disco is my favorite, is because because actually it's R&B. Let's just make it, they just had to, but it built the nightclub industry.
Okay.
And once again, it made the most money. It was, man, from Sylvester all the way down
You
to
make me feel. Come on, y'all singing, y'all with me. But wait, Yate says she likes disco too. I'm surprised all these disco lovers in the
and
house.
the message in disco was about love. I mean, it built entertainment on the globe
Okay, I
planet.
never
I
thought
know you
about disco like
Wolfman
that.
Jack Midnight Special on
I
Friday.
know I did. I like. Don't get me wrong. I love disco music. I thought Cheryl seems like a more Renaissance, more cultured, than disco. But it could happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anywho, what's going on, Miss Cynthia?
Come on,
So we
y'all remember? Woman, take me in your arms
and rock
me,
the
baby.
baby. Hey, come on, y'all. Ooh, YouTube gonna flag us for all this bad singing. They like, y'all better stop that singing. But Yate said, go ahead and hit that like button. So again, in case you're scrolling in and you're like, well, where am I? You have just landed on planet Pluto Pseudo. And I am Ladosha Wright. And over there, that's Cheryl Morrow. She's the hair oracle. This particular podcast is for you. If you are a licensed or an aspiring licensed barber or beauty professional, maybe you own your own business, maybe you have your own loft, whatever it is, this is the podcast for you because we address all of the fake bull fragger paggernackle that's kind of encroaching in our industry. We're trying to get rid of it. That's number one. Number two, to let you know where the education is, who's the people that's teaching the real stuff to help us advance in our careers and keep the quality intact. And so that's what we are here for. So everybody can be connected. I'm located in Cleveland, Ohio. The Hair Oracle, tell them where you're at.
Sunny, the America's finest city, sunny San Diego, California.
Sunny San Diego. All right, Sherry, this one's for you. California sunshine. Come on, y'all. Cut it. Hey, keep looking. They don't know about that Frankie Beverly story. Right?
That's right.
They don't know about what's. They don't know. If you know about Frankie Beverly, drop a white heart in the chat. If you know, I see my homegirl Miss Sherry in the chat. That's Happy's daughter. I love her mama. She got one of them mamas. You just listen. This is a true story. Do you know every time I travel, I buy her mama something? I ain't gonna. I mean, thank you for letting me love on your mama. I mean, her mama nickname is Happy.
Really? Well, then she definitely loved disco.
Sure. Do your mama love disco? Do y'all love disco? Yes, you do love disco. Okay, everybody's loving disco. Well, maybe one day we're gonna have to talk about some disco. But
I wonder why.
Hey, she's the greatest dancer.
I wonder why.
That I ever seen. Ooh, we telling our age. All right, so let's get ready to tell to hear from Mr. Latif. Now, let me tell you a little bit about him in case you guys are wondering who is the gentleman that is going to come in the chat and help us understand how to promote our business, because this is something that a lot of people struggle with, especially with tariffs, and everybody's concerned about what you call I hate to say this, immigrants. I don't know why, but people like immigrants are taking our job. You know, nobody taking your damn job. But anywho,
they've been doing that ever since,
But that's what folks are saying. Did you see the guy on Van Jones that says the reason why he voted for Trump because Trump had the border and he was concerned about people coming into the country taking jobs? So we're going to talk to Mr. Latif about all of this stuff because these are real issues. Though I'm being very facetious, but this is very real. And so we have a person who does this for a living. This is his passion. He's also a dear friend of mine. I just bum rushed him. I met him via Spritz. He has the most magnificent family ever. His wife is my girl. His children, they smart. He got some smart ass kids. Now his kids like, why you said, but they is this one, not they are. I did not say they are. I said they is. Okay. So his children are very smart. And so we're going to bring in Mr. Latif. He is the founder of Schoolhouse Productions. His specialty is getting the word out about what you do. And so this is something that's really hard for people in the barber and beauty industry. Some people, it just comes to them very naturally. Okay. And some people like, I ain't doing it. So Mr. Latif is going to help us understand how to do this, why it is important. Now remember, May is mental. Is this May? No, this is
it's May.
Okay, God dog it, I'm telling you.
I'm going. So when you introduce him, I'm gonna go get my green.
You're gonna go get your green. Okay, so May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Absolutely.
And I do nothing brings a business owner more mental than I don't have no damn customers and my rent is due. Now, some people can't relate, but if you own your own business, I know what that feels like. Okay, that is not a good feeling to have quit your job, or maybe you never even had a job and you're trying to get it off the ground. You know what I'm saying? So we need to talk about this because that brings people a lot of, just anguish and despair. And so we're going to start off with that. Okay. So we're going to get ready to bring in. Now, y'all know when we bring my cousins in, okay, we need y'all to take one hand, like take your left hand or your right hand. And then you're going to take your left or your right hand and you're going to put it together. Right. And we are going to bring in one of my favorite people. I mean, I really, really love this guy. He's always like there rocking it out. He be checking. He texts me in a nice way. I just want to let y'all know, okay? So everybody put your hands together for the one and only Mr. Latif, a.k.a. DJ True of Schoolhouse Productions. Here you go, y'all. Come on, y'all. Oh, wow. There he is.
What up? What up? How's it going? How you doing?
One more clap for you. One more standing ovation.
Oh, thank you. Y'all make me feel so special. How y'all doing? Ladosha, Cheryl, the hair oracle.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
We finally met for the first time. Well, no, we didn't meet for the first time. This is our second time.
Yeah. We met in person first. Now we back meeting each other online again.
Absolutely.
And we hung out, okay? Cheryl, I'm going to take you out for a minute so you can go and get your jacket. And then we're going to talk. I'm going to bring her back in. She'll be back, guys. She got a wardrobe change. That's how you know she's balling.
Okay, she's fresh from the Met Gala.
She'll be back. She'll be back. Okay, come back, Cheryl. All right, so we're going to bring Cheryl back in. So this is the podcast that I've been waiting for because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's no big secret that my background is in the world of mental health. I was an outreach worker, and so I could just speak from both ends of the spectrum as a business person and in mental health, that mental health truly matters. And when it comes to having your own business, you have quite a few myriad of emotions that you go through when you actually do this. Now, if anybody in the chat has their own business, drop a money sign in the chat just so we can know who we're talking to, because our goal here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel, at least right here on Planet Pluto Suda, we're like the OJs. We got to give the people what they want, So we want to know who we're talking to. So let us know. Just drop a money emoji in the chat. And if you're watching this post live, just so we can know you did watch it, you drop a money emoji in the chat as well. Okay. So Mr. Latif, the first thing before we get to the mental health part of it, because that sets the tone, people need to know, who is Mr. Latif and what makes a person wants to do promotions for a living? Because you're talking about promoting somebody else's stuff, So number one, how did you get into it? And that's number one. Number two, why promote other people's stuff? So let's start off with those two questions.
Okay, so I started a long time ago when I was in college, and the Latif, aka DJ True, is kind of part of that story because when I I went to Kent State. Shout out to Kent State. Anybody that went there, in the 90s, they would have probably heard of me. They definitely would have heard of Schoolhouse Productions. So I started off as a DJ. I had graduated from school in New York, so I was on my old, my New York vibe. So I would come to all these dances and be like, yo, can you play this? Can you play that? And most of the time they wouldn't even know what I was talking about. It was like, man, what are you talking about? So, I got cool with a guy named Scoob, which rest in paradise. He passed away a while back, but he kind of was the one.
Is that where you got Schoolhouse Productions after school?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Just being at school, wanting to provide entertainment and services for our community at school, because Kent State, it's a big public state college, and there's a good number of African Americans at Kent, and it was known as a party school. So
not that I would know anything about that, but I
man, stop playing. You was right down there. You was right down there with us. I'm surprised I didn't know you from back then, because you was chilling with all my people, Doc T and
now come on, how many people in the chat think I was a party animal in college? Man. Look at little old me.
I
think they believe that you was a party animal.
Right. She was just down low on the low.
You don't get AKA Key Lolo for nothing.
Exactly. I was trying to get a ride, Sherry. You know what I'm saying?
You don't get AKA Key Lolo for nothing. That's for sure.
Yeah, now Okay. Anywho, okay. So now you've been vibing with the New York vibe, and you've met your mentor. May he rest in peace. School. Okay.
School. His real name is Daryl Wyatt, but everybody known him as Scoob. He was in a fraternity. He was an alpha, so that kind of also got me into knowing the Greeks and the different organizations on campus that would want to have events and do stuff. So, I kind of started off with him DJing, because I was always bugging him anyway to play my song. So I figured if I learned how to DJ, I could play the song myself.
And what song was that? Since we were talking about music, what song were you trying to get him to play?
I was kind of on some what Cheryl was on, like, back when I came from New York, house was real big. So I was always telling them to play like Black Box,
Black
that song.
Okay. So everybody loves disco here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube. We just learned something thanks to Cheryl. But
I was on the house tip, but I was on the hip hop side too. That East Coast hip hop.
So at what point did promotions mix with your love of DJing and the party scene? When did you say, you know what, I think I want to promote this?
Okay. So it kind of was like a natural evolution, because as I saw, my love to DJ, I figured I had to promote myself to get more gigs, so as I was getting more gigs, I just got hungry to say, you know what, why not just have my own event? And then I can DJ myself. So, that entrepreneur spirit just kind of, crept in me, like, okay, you a DJ, you have a skill, you know how to rock the crowd. How do I kind of take my profession into my own hands? So I just started getting into promotions and booking my own events and being able to not only just DJ, but also profit from the people that were coming through the door. So
Okay.
that's how I got into it.
So you got now. So now remember now May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so I'm gonna move the conversation a little bit over, Cheryl, for you to kind of set the tone
Okay.
for the mental health part. The stressors of trying to promote your business. And then, Mr. Latif, I want you to speak from personal experience some of the stressors that you went through and starting your own business and how you handled it. So, Cheryl, if you could just kind of, talk about that to the professionals, because I know I suffered from the perfect Patty syndrome, where I did. Anybody in the chat an overachiever? Something about growing up, getting those merit rolls and honor rolls, those stickers. It
Mhm.
kind of mess with your psyche a little bit. But anywho, so I was one of those people where I wanted everything to be just right before I can do anything. And I know Mr. Latif is going to address that. And so I was depressed a lot because it was like no matter what I did, it wasn't good enough. So can you talk to that? Let's help business owners understand the realities of what they're going to be up against as they open up their business, and maybe a little bit how to manage it. And then, Mr. Latif, you're going to share some of your experiences and how they can manage it, because we're here to help you guys out. Okay. So, this is not an easy thing to open your own business. We know people are telling you you're crazy,
Mhm.
but anywho, Cheryl, take it away.
I came from an established branded salon. And so my expectations on doing mine was just from a business template. And I think the stress is because I think we follow things online. We kind of do what everyone says to do, but there's not a lot of, I don't feel that there's a lot of successful salon people writing the books or writing the booklets or writing the manuals, right? On what to
Mm-hmm.
look out for, what to expect. Because our expectations is that, hey, we're open, we open up the key, we have maybe a little grand opening, and then they flood,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Right.
and we're locked into a creative process and trying to get the product, trying to get the inventory, trying to make sure to run and what, but we don't get into the promotion. And I have always said that promotion is not advertising. Advertising is not marketing, and marketing is not branding, and then you have publicity to add. And I think those are so many different moving parts. But the mental stress is due to our expectations. Our
Mm.
expectations of probably are not aligned. And so the mental stress about making the lease, making the rent, buying and everything that you need without someone sitting you down and mentoring you and
Mm-hmm.
telling you how to organize all of those multiple moving parts.
Can you speak to when you say aligned?
Mhm.
Because again, the thing is that when you're quote unquote seasoned or you old, y'all know how it is. You kind of think you got this situation under wrap. So for those of us who are old and think we just know everything, and to those of us who are new, explain alignment. And then Mr. Latif, when she tells you, you can just go ahead and give your take on this
Absolutely.
as well.
And what I mean by that is that, of course, let's just say you have a person, she's 25, and it has adjusted to the social media element. But someone that probably wants to get back into it of 25 years ago, or maybe 30 years ago, and they're returning to it, they may not have mastered the juggling of posting schedules, taking pictures of stuff and posting it, and knowing how to do the things
Okay.
that Mr. Latif is going to show us how to kind of manage, and to probably give us a different perspective on promotion versus advertising versus publicity. But take it away,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Latif, because that is what is being aligned, and probably putting it down on paper. Okay, I'm going to save Wednesdays for posting. I'm going to make sure that I
Okay.
have time to do this or that. And it is a learning curve. And be nice to yourself, guys, because it is a learning curve. And
Okay.
Okay. And so, Mr. Lateef, just take it away and make sure that you can walk us step by step here.
All right. Well, I would say, as far as promotion, when I got started in the game was really, still I believe the biggest form of promotion is word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Is really getting out there
Really?
and telling people who you are and what you do. And it doesn't
Now,
cost you.
as you before. Now, I'm sorry to jump in, but remember, because it's Mental Health Month, kind of embellish that a little bit
Yeah, go into it deeper in terms of
Okay. Well, I would say that, I know a lot of hair professionals, they have a
And you say
bias.
that because some people are shy. I got a video for that. I will talk a little bit more, but just okay. Sorry.
Well,
Okay.
I'll tell
Sorry
you,
about that.
I
Okay, go
was
ahead. I'm
shy.
sorry.
To be honest, I was a shy person. But the things that I wanted to do, I knew I couldn't accomplish it if I was shy. So I had to get up my own personality to be able to go out there and, speak to people or, tell people what I was doing, which to me, it was an easy transition because when you have something that you want to talk about, or if you have something that you want to spread, like an event or like a product, you should be proud to talk about that. So my skill set became, telling people like, hey, we got this event. I know, college can be either exciting or it can be boring. And I was trying to make college as exciting as possible for the people I knew and didn't know, and for the people that loved hip hop or, my community of African Americans and the people that we associated with, because, a lot of people like hip hop. It doesn't have to just be black, but whoever was into that genre
Mm-hmm.
in our circle, I wanted to go out there and promote. So, word of mouth. And then also, I was really big into flyers and passing out my business card and letting people know, like, hey, if you have an event, you can book me as a DJ. But if I was promoting my own thing, then I would just have the flyer. The event is on this day. Me and my crew will be DJing. I might
Mm-hmm.
collaborate with a sorority or a fraternity, which that was kind of my clientele because a lot of undergraduate, I would say, fraternities or sororities um, didn't know how to take it to the next level. Like,
Now, let me interject here a little bit, and then sure, I say you want to interject too. Um, how do people do this? I mean, if because this is like people say, yeah, you gotta get out there, you gotta talk about it, right? You gotta let people know who you are. Let me show this clip right quick, and I want you to give this salon owner, this barber shop. I got a new loft or whatever. I want you to give them how do you do this. So here is a little reel about selling yourself. Okay, here we go.
We had this conversation is like a lot of people, they don't promote their things enough. Like they try to be like a little bit too humble. Like, I don't want to, am I promoting too much? They'll come out with a course, a book or a product or any kind of service, put it on Instagram or Twitter one time and they don't do it. They not getting no sales and they wondering like, why I'm not getting no sales? Why I'm not getting no results? Because you're not promoting enough. Like if you watch television, anybody that watch television, you see the same commercials every day for about months straight. You be like, damn, I'm tired of this commercial. They get to a point you know it about heart. The song come on, you get to singing the song because you see it's in great. You see it every day, and because they know they need to promote.
All right. So how? Because this is something that people they do struggle with that. So how do you do this thing called promote yourself, especially when you're like a little shy? Because you said you're shy. So let's give them how to do it
well,
right.
they say, just like the guy said it's about repetition. Like the key thing that I learned along the way, even because I've been promoting since before social media, before Facebook. I think the first I say big online platform was MySpace, where you could promote.
Ooh, who remembers MySpace?
MySpace, and MySpace still exists. To be, I think actually Facebook might own MySpace, to be honest. So, but it's catered more towards music, which it was music back then, but it was kind of like how Facebook is.
Okay.
You would promote,
All right.
yourself.
So you're saying that they have to speak up for themselves.
Yeah, you have to speak up and then just have a game plan, or go over that. Get some consulting. Like, all right, if I was gonna be your consultant, I would be like, hey, let's sit down. Tell me about your shop.
Okay.
So then we'll pull out key points of your shop. You do this. You straighten hair. You whatever styles you're known for, or if you're known for color, or if you're known for natural hairstyles, or whatever your shop encompasses, we need to put that in writing, which I would say in a flyer, also a video nowadays.
So let me speak from, and then sure you can kind of come in and add to Mr. Latif, who's telling us that you got to have a plan, like sure, so you got to write this stuff down. But what if a person feels like, I don't want to seem like I'm bragging, I don't want to seem like I'm just like I'm the only one, like I'm the best, because I don't want to seem like that. So help them with that, because that's that mental part where you talk yourself out of something that you should be doing to help grow your business, but you just don't want to seem like. And Mr. Latif will bring you back in after that as well. So Cheryl, what about that part?
Well, let me just say this. Let's say his number one is word of mouth. And so in terms of promotion is activity. Advertising is usually flyers, as he did mention, okay, and either reels or even posting. That is advertising, and it can roll, and I think that is an opportunity for us to do like Facebook ads, for us to learn how to do Facebook ads, and to also, let's talk about your specialty, because especially how we connect that to your location. All around churches? Are you around schools? What are you around, right? And so word of mouth literally does not necessarily mean that you have to change your personality and you got to go out and stand outside, but you do have to choose one of those tools.
I was going to get on that soapbox. Okay, but anywho.
But some people are not social media savvy. And so they don't, their face and talking to people, but you can do some surveying, right? You can go to businesses and people and friends, and in your media circle, your church or whatever, and you can just do a survey. What is it that you don't like about the salon that you're at? And and engage them, get their email, okay? And that email is that digital format of what he was saying about word of mouth.
All right. Okay. All right. Now, oh, that was good. All right. I hope y'all taking some good notes here. Okay. Now, Mr. Latif, you're saying that they got to make sure they have a plan, and like Cheryl's giving them some, other points of what you mean by word of mouth. But at what point do you feel that a person needs to let somebody else, as they used to say, handle it? At what point does a business owner should they know, what, just call Schoolhouse Productions, because the reason why I'm asking, because someone once told me, if you can't sell yourself, you can't expect somebody else to sell you. So address those two. One, is that true? If you can't sell yourself, no one else can sell you. And then number two, at what point does a business owner reach out to a Mr. Latif to help them get the word out about their business?
Okay. Well, I would say promotions it's like a campaign. So if you look at it that way, if the hairstylist is running, say the hairstylist is a candidate, you're not going to run your whole campaign on your own. You're going to get people in place to help you, because just like you were saying, okay, you don't want to brag, you don't want to boast, and you kind of don't. You want to be even keel. You want to be confident, but you don't want to come off too cocky. You don't want to come off arrogant and turn people away. But then you want somebody else to really speak highly of you, so you don't have to per se always saying you this, you that. You want the campaign and that campaign to show what kind of work you do. So promotions is also creating a campaign, kind of, like we're doing with Fête du Jour. It's a campaign to get hair professionals together to network and bond and promote the industry. So just like Cheryl said, promotions is activity. A campaign is an activity.
Oh, come on. Y'all better hold on right quick. If
you get active, when you getting out there and you on the trail, whether you speaking to people, going to networking events, or any place where there's like-minded people and you telling them what you do, you handing out your business card, or you just open up your shop so you want people to know your location, so you have some flyers, and you hitting the area, your general area, and you're going out to events to let them know, like, hey, I'm a stylist. Now, you may not want to do that. You may not want to get out there on your own and pass out flyers, which I suggest, even if you have somebody promoting, you always want to be out there too, because a lot of times when somebody else is promoting, they're always going to ask, well, who's this? Like, say if the stylist is on the flyer, then I would tell them who it is. So then if I go out with the stylist, then I can always introduce, like, yeah, this is the business owner. They've been in business for this long. They got a new shop on South Taylor. They got a lot of different products and services that you can get. They'll give you a free consultation. So you kind of want somebody that's like your chief of staff or your campaign manager to go out there and actively speak good about you and promote the sales of your business.
That's some really good stuff. Now, VK is our virtual co-host, and she said, Ladosha, I need you to get Cheryl and signal her, because if you are really loving the information that Mr. Latif of Schoolhouse Productions is sharing with you about how to promote your business, then Cheryl, tell them what they need to do right now. Here we go.
You cut it off.
Okay, so obviously we need us little producer. Thank you, VK. So that was some really pretty dope advice. But now these hot cars, these flyers you're talking about, people are like, isn't that played out? So let me show you a video. I'll just show a portion of it. And this is a gentleman who's kind of doing what you're saying. So if you have any questions about what he's talking about, please drop your questions in the chat, and Mr. Latif is going to be able to help you out. He and the Hair Oracle. So this clip is about passing out them cards, and we'll come back with that one. Here we go.
They don't know, but some people know. You can tell just in the streets. So this the grind that don't stop right here. How you doing? You tuned in? Finally tuned in. Y'all see what's happening. Promo mode, promo season. Thank you, bro. Promo season. We gotta do all of that.
I know you think it. All right, now that's the hard part. So much rejection. So let's talk about before we we're gonna work this flyer thing down. So so the first thing we want to know is, what should the flyer look like? Because we're gonna get to passing it out. So I'm gonna ask you to give your opinion on what a flyer should look like, and then Cheryl, you're gonna give your opinion, because my son, who's probably watching this now, he tells me all the time, get off of Canva. So my son's always getting on me like, that is not how you make a flyer. So let's talk about, what should that flyer look like in your opinion? And then Cheryl, you're going to talk about what the flyer should look like. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about the art of passing those out. So Mr. Latif, what should a flyer look like? Help them understand the professional aspects, in your opinion, of what a flyer should look like when you're trying to promote your business.
The flyer should speak to the person as soon as you hand it to them. So if your business is a hair salon, it should have in the middle or somewhere centered the name of your business and the location.
Now, why do you want it in the center and not at the top or the bottom? Or why does the placement matter in your professional opinion?
Because most people, when they look, when you hand it to them or they look down, their eyes are gonna look at that center. And then, the top of it is usually, the name, something like the presenting, or something to that effect. But the major part of a business flyer should have the hair salon real big, the name of the stylist, and the address. And then any other small details can be, you could put something at the top if it's a sponsor, or if it's a website, like if you have, www.hairsalon.com at the top, because people are going to look at the top, but that's usually smaller print. You want your bigger print and your graphics to be in the middle.
Okay.
And then you want your address, location, boldly, but in a font that people can read, not something that they got to decipher.
Oh, all right. Okay. Cheryl, your turn. What should this flyer look like? I forgot to ask, do colors matter? So Cheryl, you take it away. And then can you add if the color of the flyer matters? And again, if you have any questions, now is the time, because we have an expert here who's doing a wonderful job in helping us understand how to promote ourselves, which I wasn't thinking of that, and our business. Go ahead, Cheryl.
I like to dabble myself, but I would probably say they need to immediately know what they get, because people don't care about you. They don't care about any of that. They care about what they get.
They want the whiff from what's in it for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the offer,
okay,
should be in the thickest font. It should be in the boldest portion center. And you notice when you see the video, it is how he hands it to them, because most people, most people are a mixed bag, because the moment you engage with them, if you just hand it and you think that they're going to do your work for you and actually read it, then you're sadly mistaken. And I think that this is the era of, you see all kind of reels when people are talking to people and they ask them questions, and people really like to engage, especially when you ask them a question. So I would say the offer at the top, like, you know what I mean? And then you got the what they call there's something in the press world, the presser, the what, when, where, how, and, and then it goes in order, because the moment you engage with them and they know that they're going to get free or event or whatever the name, because the let's just say your flyer with the fete du jour, you immediately know that it's going to be a party. So the guy, the DJ, it's, and then you tech, you know what I mean? And then, and so it kind of sets the stage for what that is. They know that they're going to get.
Okay.
Immediately.
All right.
So,
okay. So we hope y'all. Okay.
then yeah,
All
absolutely.
right. So don't forget now, you got to take these notes down. All right. Now, here we go, Mr. Latif, the hardest part. Now, I will have to admit, man, I'm telling you, got to have a lot of heart to live in. No, I'm just kidding. But you gotta have a lot of heart to pass them flyers out. Now, when I was now I don't know if you guys remember this. Y'all tell you might remember. We do have our de facto producer, Miss Esther, is in the chat. We don't often get a chance to see her because she's busy. Please don't forget to follow her on all the social media platforms. So let's give it up right quick to our homegirl, Miss Esther. Esther, I hope we're making you proud. Also, you should know we did reach out to African Hair God, and we connected via email. I'm going to check our email afterwards. So we are excited. He has agreed to come on to the show. So we're very excited to have another influencer on. And all of this is, I got to dedicate it because
we got to give it to her. We got to give it to her.
Give it to you, Miss Esther. You thought I should do it, Miss Esther. But anyway, okay. So back to you, Mr. Latif. So how in the French toasted bologna sandwich can you pass these cards out? Because when I was in cosmetology school, they would tell us we have to pass out at least 100 cards per day. I don't know, Theo, you're in the chat. Does anybody remember that? So let's talk about passing them out. How much should be printed? Where should you pass them? So give us the grapes on how do you pass these flyers out? Where, all that good stuff.
Okay. I usually, the reason why people don't like to pass out flyers, I believe it's because of rejection. Because they don't want to be rejected, or they don't want to have somebody not care about what they're pushing.
Can I do a confession? Y'all don't hate me, y'all. Please don't hate me. Please, would y'all still love me after I say this? Please drop a Y in the chat. But I'm gonna tell you why I didn't want to pass it out. Look at Cheryl. Don't say it. I gotta say it, Cheryl. I thought I was I'm too cute to be passing out these flyers.
And see, that's
I did. I was just like, I own my own hair salon. I ain't about to pass them flyers out, but go ahead. But I pass them out now, y'all. Go ahead.
That's the downfall of many businesses. When you think you too cute or too good to promote your own business, you should be the one at the forefront to push that business or making sure it gets done. So even if you don't like passing out flyers, you should always have something in your purse that even if you're not aggressively going out to an event and hitting everybody, if you have that opportunity to talk to somebody, that flyer is a conversation piece. I'll tell you a secret. There was plenty of people used to ask to pass out my flyers in order for them to be able to start a conversation with a woman that they wanted to talk to. It's a conversation piece. So no matter if you're doing it full time like that guy, or things that I've done, or you're just a business owner and you always want to stay strapped with information for your business, you should never be shy or ashamed to pass out that card and start a conversation about your business.
And how do you start a conversation?
Well, I would come up to them and I would, if it's an event, I would tell them about the event. Like on so-and-so day, make last Sunday of the month, we do Fête du Jour. It's a day party. It's a networking situation for hair professionals and people that love hair. You go into, whatever your spill or your, whatever your, what they would say, your script. And you just, you talk to them and you just be authentic with it. And then most of the time they're going to ask you questions, or they're going to say thank you, or they're going to look at the card, and they're most likely going to keep that card if you engage with them properly.
Wow. Okay. Who knew? All right, Cheryl. Can you give your take on
well,
because I thought I was too cute. I'm talking about me, and that's what this podcast is for.
That's the point. Your hair is already that is the point. because you are cute. So I would never, and of course, because I don't wear my hair out all the time, I'd make sure that it was slayed down. And then I would ask them, do you love your, what is your favorite thing about the salon? And the moment you ask people questions, they're going to tell you, because most people don't ask questions. They just go into the conversation, and it's an easier way to get people. What is your number one pet peeve at a salon? Just randomly. Everyone will stop and answer it. And then bam, the offer. Would love, you know what I mean? What is the song? I would love to do your hair. I would give, it's because it's about them, not about you. And so it kind of takes the ice off of the rejection, because if anything, they just asked your question, they just answered the question, and you just engaged with them, and then you just say, do you mind if I give you a card?
Okay.
And so it just kind of eases it up. And I know it's a skill, but in the salon and beauty school, we're not taught.
Right. Right.
Talk.
Mr. Latif, if you could just, I want to play another clip about the cards, because you have social media. And so some people kind of feel like I don't really have to go out there, because I do. Like when I do go with Mr. Latif, and I can attest that everything that he is saying is working. I didn't always do it because, like I said, I thought I was just, but anywho, so let's play this clip again about the cards, because some of the newer, not as in age, when I say younger, newer, they're like, well, I don't need to do that because we have social media. So who's still passing out cards? So let me just play this little clip right quick. So here we go, right here.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but promote yourself until it pays off. Because people will either get mad and delete you, or they'll get inspired and support you.
Okay, so you got people that are like, no, I'm not doing that. I want to do social media. So do you have a preference? And what's your take on the new social media promoting yourself? And then sure, you can add something to that as well. Because he said they, if they either like it, they're going to delete you. I'm like, well, I ain't passing no cards. I'm going on social media. So what do you think about social media versus getting out there and touching the people, and like Cheryl said, having that those conversations?
Yeah, I would tell people, promotions is just a combination of a lot of things. When you just get lopsided on one thing, chances are you're not going to hit a well-rounded crowd to let people know about your business or your event. So, and I was always one of those ones, since I came into the game before social media, I just didn't trust social media on its own to get the word out. And even now, people are getting fooled just by social media, because when you promote it on your page, unless you boost it or unless you pay for advertising, they're suppressing it. You're not even getting the word out to even all your followers. You're probably hitting people here and there, but they suppress your.
They're an ad agency, in other words.
Yeah, they suppress your marketing. If it's like marketing, they're going to suppress it because they want you to buy their marketing. So, the creative people or the influencers that do have big followings, they're probably a little more reliable.
But you hear them complaining now that the social media is not like when I used to be banging on Instagram, but now it's like crickets over there. I could go live on TikTok. I'm good for 10,000 people in the chat easily. But when you go over to Instagram, I might get one person. So that's very interesting that you would speak to that for people who rely on, so because I really wasn't aware until right now. This is why we have these podcasts, that they don't really put you out there, that they, like Cheryl just said, they are the advertising piece. So that's, thank you, Mr. Latif. Thank you so much.
You notice that photos, anything that doesn't, and you have to make sure that your postings are, it's almost like when you write the text under something, if it flags anything that come here, do this, do that, do this, and it's like a directive, it gets flagged as an advertisement. And so that's what he's talking about. So you can't just particularly
tell him here, Oracle. Tell him what's up.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like just random photos that don't have nothing to do. All of a sudden, you got 100 views or 1,000 views because it's just nothing. But if there's something in that language, in that body of that text, that is alluding to you want somebody, you're giving someone a directive, right? It is the language that is flagged. But at the end of the day, here's the budget. Here's our opportunity for Mr. Latif to give you some counsel on maybe you only want to spend $10 a week. You know what I mean?
Let me drop the bomb on that because hold on right quick. That was the bomb knowledge right there.
Yeah, so let's say for the first 5 months, your tips are going back to pay into your advertising budget on whatever platform you want. However, that doesn't negate all of the other physical activity that he's talking about. But you do have to, once again, there's a learning curve. And you just have to sit down and learn it and make sure that on Sunday or Mondays when you're off, that you're talking to him for at least an hour. It's worth it. It's part of the investment. And you're making sure that you get a schedule. And it's $5 and $10, you just buy the zip code, right? Because people, especially in a salon, they're not coming 30 miles out.
Okay. All right. Okay.
What are they doing? Like, let's say, what?
10-mile radius?
Yeah, they're only doing 10.
Okay. Now, when you spoke to this whole campaign thing that a person should create. So let's take example, someone just opened up their barbershop. Or maybe they're going to booth rent, they're in a space or they're just in a salon with other people. Are there some things that you find that works really nice for those of us in the industry who are new? So the new loft owner, that new booth renter, that new, employee that wants to really promote themselves. Are there some things like these are the couple of things that I think that just really jumps out that helps people who are new, as we say, to the game, anything that jumps out. And I'm just going to show some pictures as you talk, in case you guys think this guy is not on his GAME, just to show you a little bit, bam, right there he is with MGK, he does this thing here. So anything for the newbies in our industry that you think, like, I think, these are a couple of things I think new people should use.
Well, I'll kind of piggyback with something that Cheryl said, especially if you knew, what's your offer? What is people going to get from coming to you? What's your why? Why should they come to you? So you really want to establish why people should patronize your business and what's that offer. So, just like I come from the event, so our thing would be like ladies free before 11, or, use this flyer and get half off. So I would have some kind of coupon that would give somebody something off of one of your services. Try my service for 50% off, or do this, and this, and get a free haircut. Sign, you want to build your database. So use your services to get people to sign up for your mailing list or text list, so you can be able to, text them whatever you got going on.
Okay.
Do any giveaways, do any raffles, and just give people information every now and then. Now, when it comes to texting and emailing, you don't want to be too aggressive, because a lot of people are sensitive and they don't want, to see stuff all the time. But once you win that customer over, they'll be looking forward to your messages. They'll be looking forward to your promotion.
Okay. All right. Okay. Esther, our de facto producer, she says, I keep custom bookmarks of her novel with a brief summary and or a QR code linking them to where they can buy it. And she's definitely gotten some speaking gigs from that. So there is a good nugget from Esther that says you can be very creative, and that's what it's all about. It's being creative. So, in your career, you as a promoter, you get the opportunity to meet some people. So, before we begin to wind this one down, talk about some of the most interesting people that you've got. Fresh, I can't just say that. It's very like, how do you handle meeting all of these celebrities? Is that Griffin over there, Eddie Griffin? Yeah. So any notable celebrities that you had the opportunity? Now, don't talk about me. I mean, I'm just saying, y'all. You know, you met me. You know, just saying.
Celebrities besides you.
Yeah, what celebrities
And
have you?
Cheryl.
So what celebrities have you met that really impressed you? Because you get the word out not just for hairstylists and barbers, but you also do politicians and you do celebrities. You do restaurants and what some of the most interesting people that you've met.
I would say on the political front, I worked with our Congresswoman Chantel Brown in her first 3 campaigns, doing a lot of content and video work and photography and, really spreading the word about how good of a person she would be as a congresswoman. And once she won, continuing to get people to support and be a part of her campaign.
Can I just make a testimony about how great it is to have someone like Mr. Latif into your corner? It's worth the investment to have someone like him. When I did my book, right? I should have brought a picture. I'll post it later. But he actually brought. She was running for a congresswoman. Chantel to my book signing, and she was there and she was greeting me. Like I don't know her personally, but I've met her before. I couldn't just call her and say, hey, come to my book thing. But she actually showed up and she engaged with people. And I thought like, wow, he's the real thing. So this is another reason why if you need to invest in having someone help you, because they can do real things like that. And so it was nice to have her in there. That was really a good plus. So Congress people, who else?
Well, I have a story of, I think it was maybe a few years ago on my birthday. A friend of mine surprised me and brought Mystical to my birthday. And he actually pinned the $100 bill on me.
Oh my God.
So that was real fun, and I see how you got some of my pictures. I had a lot more celebrity pictures on my Instagram before it got hacked a couple years ago. But
that's something else we should think about. Okay, yeah.
So I had a picture of him. He pinned the $100 bill on me. He hung out at the party for a while, and he was a cool guy. So there's definitely some celebrities that are really down to earth. They vibe with their fans or people in general. And then, there's some celebrities that could be the typical, jerks or whatever.
Don't be talking about me like that. Don't put our business out here like that. You know what I'm saying?
I just met Marlon Wayans. I was up in Akron, and he wound up coming to an after party at this restaurant that I frequent called Edgar's. And we took a selfie, man, talked. I talked to his manager, and she was just telling me all the celebrities that she could get, to hit her up if I wanted to do something.
Wow.
So, I don't have any problem dealing with celebrities because I'm not the type that's gonna get starstruck or try to do something crazy or do something erratic. I just feel that they're doing a job, I'm doing a job. And
Okay.
I'm trying to have respect for their job. And I'm hoping that they have respect for my job. And then together, we're
You can
trying to
make things
have
happen.
a business transaction that's successful.
All right, that's what it's all about. Okay, now before we wrap this down, I want you and Cheryl to share with everybody because they need to know. We done got y'all through some of the goods. Now we done got y'all through some of the goods. Now we need to talk about what are some of the biggest mistakes that hairstylists and barbers and estheticians, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see we make in our industry in trying to promote our business? So you go first, Cheryl, and then Mr. Latif, I'm going to be giving you the final words on, please, y'all, please don't do this. Okay. Just stop it. If you're doing it, stop it. And if you thought about it, don't do it. Cheryl, a couple of mistakes that you think business owners make in our industry and trying to get the word out about what they do and sell.
I do think one is trying to be everything to everybody, right? I think that you should choose one thing at a time, right? And make sure the message is clear. Unclear messages, mixed messages. And the second one is without doing your numbers, discounting services.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Hold on now. We got a lot of stylists in the chat. A lot of our Trepo Negroes are in the chat. Okay. Our Trepo Puerto Ricos, our Trepo white people. Okay. So why you say discounting is not, we got to digress a little bit. What's the dangers of discounting services? Because I was taught, refer 3 friends, you get 1 free. Anybody remember that? Come on, I'm not the only one. If you do, say me too. Drop that in the chat. What's the dangers in your professional opinion of discounting services?
Because you didn't do the numbers. So let's just say you have an inventory budget and you only use, because you're so damn picky and bourgeois, right? And bougie. And so your budget a month is approximately, $800 in inventory, right? And so you have to have 3-4 services a day to make sure that budget makes a 60 or a 80 or whatever the case may be. But if you discount it and you've counted it and now you've gotten desperate and you're saying, oh no, now you think you're going to discount because now you need to increase income, people coming in the door.
And
But
also here comes your mental anguish because you're trying to get more business. So you're discounting, but you're not meeting your financial goals. And
right.
now emotionally, you're just like,
Yeah, and there is something about Asian math, right?
And what's that?
And that means that make sure that if you're you only discount when you have overages. Then you can afford to give a discount to get, let's just say you do have a solid, you're meeting all your bills and you're just falling flat. You're paying your gas, your lights, and you are paying your rent. And so you can be a little loose with it, right? But you have to make sure that you do the numbers so you can make sure that says, I have enough clientele to just meet the flat line. I'm just, balancing out, right? And then want to go in there and you want to get, let's say you want to increase the traffic by 35%, right? Don't undercut yourself to where now, and then make sure that you discount something that you can afford to get them in.
Can you just give us a little example? Because I'm like Yate. When I first started, I did 30. She did $35 off her locks. I was doing like
$35 off of locks is not good because it's time consuming.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So
And
these
so
are
you're losing money because it's so time consuming. So let's just say you come in and you're going to give them a free consultation and you're going to give them a service. Well, just like, and you're going to take, let's say a bottle and you're going to give them a free oil or a free shampoo.
okay.
That way that, free always in the buyer's mind. It's a psychological thing that they're
Okay.
getting something for their money. But to discount braiding, weaving, or locks, it's so labor intensive, and
Okay.
you can't, and you guys are not good at probably, or you can say that I'm going to give you an extra sting, even though a sting is it's
Okay.
great.
Are you guys getting it? Just be creative because you
Let
can
me.
actually cushion the price of that shampoo a little bit, right? I'm just
Well, what I'm saying, let's just say a scalp sting. It's
okay.
only water. You know what I mean? But it's a luxury. It's something that doesn't take away from it. It's not an expense.
Okay.
Don't discount if it adds an expense. That's basically. And it's just a numbers game. And it's practice, guys. What I'm saying, you are not born innate to know. It's
Okay.
just practice. So by the time you call him Mr. Latif, right? And he is an expense. He's an investment, right?
Right.
And flyers, printing is expensive. You know what I mean? Depending on what you do, you put 4 on a page, and so you do try to discount, and try to do all of that. But my point is that all of these things are just
Okay.
it's practice.
Okay.
You'll get the rhythm of it.
All right. Okay, Mr. Latif, as we wrap this down, what do you think? These are some of the biggest mistakes that I see in Stefano. Everybody know Luce. Stefano, Luce. Stefano, would kind of, talk about some of the biggest mistakes that people make as he would call them, new jacks.
I would just say some of the biggest mistakes is just not being consistent with what you are offering. If you're offering a certain service, you don't want somebody to come in there and you can't give them that service. Or if you say you're going to be open from this time to this time or on these days, the first time somebody comes to your shop and they can't get in at the time you said that you was going to be open, they're not coming back. So you just got to be consistent on your time, your days, and your services.
But I'm new, Mr. Latif. I mean, can I run late? I mean, sometimes life happens. Can I just be late? Maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Should it really matter? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, okay. I say it's a pet peeve on both ends. Just like you don't want your customer to be late and that throws your schedule off. Say you have a businesswoman like Cheryl that the only time she could get her hair done is at that 7 to 9 slot because she got a whole day worth of stuff she got to do and she don't want to be looking crazy. Now she come there, she can't get her hair done. She got all these meetings, she looking crazy. Now she's like, man, I ain't messing with that. She automatically looking to see who else could be her stylist if she got to go through a whole day like that.
Right.
Okay. So life does happen, but you got to make that extra effort when you own a business to do what you say you're going to do.
And the infamous Barber P. Diddy.
It's all about building up trust. If you don't have that trust with your clientele, then they're going to fold on you. So if you build up enough trust, yeah, they'll understand if you run some, late or you have a family emergency or something like that. But if you're new, they don't know you for nothing. They don't owe you that. So you got to try to avoid every mishap possible to build that trust. Just like a job. You go on jobs 90 days, 180 days of probation. You can't make no mistakes or you fired for any reason.
But I think that could be hard, right, Cheryl, for people who are policing themselves. If you're self-employed, you might justify, okay, my Uber was late, or you might justify that you overslept. So how are people to manage some of their idiosyncrasies that they think is like, okay?
Well, you have to prepare yourself to make sure that because see, most people start businesses to get rid of the boss, to get rid of the supervisor, to rid of the person that's going to hold you accountable. Well, you don't have that person anymore. You are that person. And so if you don't understand that you are the checks and balances now, and so you have to do what we call a calibrating your time management. And so you just have to, because
So
you
in
don't,
other words,
right,
as the people
employee behavior, you have employee behavior, and you have independent contractor behavior. You have, and but business building in terms of what Mr. Latif says in relation, because it's all about, see, we said publicity, promotion, advertising, and promotion. We said all that, but we forgot the other one. It's called public relations. And that's what you're in when you're starting. You are building, you're in public relations. Okay. You're in PR. And so if you have not deposited in what he's talking about, you cannot. And it's not asking you to be perfect, because at the end of the day, if you call me and say there was an emergency, then you made a deposit and you have invested in my trust. But if I get there and you're not there, that is what we call a business violation, because now you violated the PR.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so, and that's what happens when you fire the boss, because now you're the boss.
Yeah.
And you figure you can't get fired on your self-employed job, but you have just missed out on $80.
Yeah, and customers, they do fire us. So at what point should they reach out to you? At what point can an entrepreneur, an independent contractor, a salon owner, at what point should these people reach out to a Schoolhouse Productions? And then we'll let that be the last recommendation.
I think you should reach out to somebody like me at the beginning. You always want to start off, as they would say, with a battery pack in your back to get you going. You want gas in your gas tank.
Yes.
So I would get with somebody like me for a consultation or a talk or whatever early on, and just kind of talk about what your plans are.
Okay.
And then if you don't do it at the very beginning, once you get open and you have something to really push and promote, I would definitely get with me then.
Okay.
When you have that product, or you have that service, or you have that building that you need promoted, or that event that you want to do to promote your business, then that's when you holler at me.
All right. So if you want to holler at him now, you can reach out to him on Instagram at Schoolhouse91. He is located in Cleveland, Ohio, but he does travel. You should know this. He has a wonderful street crew. Very, 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 very professional, and he is reputable. And when you say Mr. Latif's name, people be like E.F. Hutton.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. No, Mr. Latif is very, very credible. One of the biggest mistakes that I had in finding someone like a Mr. Latif was not vetting people. So make sure you vet these people who you're going to hire to help promote your cause, your business, your event, whatever. You need to make sure that these people are credible, because I must have given away an easy like $7,000 to $10,000 within the first 3 years of opening my business and this is before social media was even the thing. Okay. And I got no results, but with Mr. Latif, everything is proven and effective. So now you have some insight to how to promote your barber and beauty business. We are about 84 episodes in, and Charlotte and I, we appreciate you again. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. Also, in case you did not know, it's also, I got to put this up here, it's also teachers. So you want to, it's Teacher Appreciation Week. So there are my two favorite teachers. There's Mr. Ivan with the beard. He's my mentor. And then to my left in the gray suit is Mr. Catledge. He is my fifth and sixth grade teacher. He taught Chrissy and I. So I would like to pay a lot of respect to these two gentlemen because they have changed my life so much better. And if you are a teacher, we appreciate everything that you do. So this week, it remains Teacher Appreciation Week. Also, in closing, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Mr. Jawanza Kunjufu, he is the author of Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys and so many other books. He transitioned. I was not aware. I was listening to another podcast, and they mentioned that he passed away, and I literally cried. I just lost my brother, and now Mr. Kunjufu, this man pioneered a lot of the research and school of thought about what was happening to little Black boys in public schools and so much more. So if you have not read any of his books or listened to any of his lectures, please, 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 please go and learn more about Mr. Jawanza Kunjufu. And again, this is one of his books, Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. It's a fascinating. I know you guys all the time, but this is a fascinating read. And then last but not least, Cheryl, guess what, guys? Here I am again.
Hey.
I'm in another write-up. That's why I will drop this one in the link. I have my expert opinion about 11 ways to help your hair grow. Experts say these really work. And so let me just say this again. This is part of our initiative here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel, is to get out a different school of thought about some of these issues that the public really wants to know when it comes to hair. And let me just tell you, these interviewers, journalists, they are very impressed, and they keep saying this girl is different. And I would not be able to do this without my my PNC, my partner in cosmetology, Cheryl Morrow. So so I would drop this in the link. So there you have it. And big ups to Rev Air. Rev Air is making all of this possible. And so Mr. Latif's points today is going to help you, promote your business and connect with other wonderful entrepreneurs like Rev Air. So is there any closing thoughts, Mr. Latif, you want to share with people about how to promote their beauty or barber business? Any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. Let me see. I got a little. I mean, we went through. You definitely want to, have word of mouth. You want to have some kind of flyer or business card. And in this day and age, you do want to build up your social media, but not throw every egg in that basket. Make that part of your tool that's in your toolbox. You want to get if you want to really get creative with social media, you definitely need content. Content works because, like Cheryl was kind of saying, you got to be creative where you're not trying to give a directive, but if you do certain content, it will lead people to your business. So you want to be creative in your content. You want to have a good photographer, a good videographer, which I'm both. You want to have somebody that can do your promotions or get printing. So I specialize in a lot of different ways that promote. I'm still fond of the traditional and old school ways of doing stuff, even though I'm into technology. So you may think that I'm just about one way of doing it, but I'm merging, the now and the tradition where you go out and you still talk to people, and because you don't want your marketing or your promotion to be hollow. And when people depend on one certain way to promote, or if their stock is totally in social media, they're only hitting a certain amount of people, and they're not really going to get the job done, especially if they're new. So you need to invest in a lot of different ways, or somebody that can give you a lot of different options in promoting your business. And then, get with people like Ladosha and people like the Hair Oracle, Cheryl, because they got. I mean, I can apply what I know in promotions, but they have the knowledge of the hair industry. So as I work with them, I'm learning from them on how to promote a hair business and get you out there. But you know,
Okay.
the game stays the same. You know,
all right.
Players change.
All right. Okay. So we're going to be back again. We're going to continue in the spirit of mental health awareness. And we're going to be back talking about psychotherapy. So we'll have a special guest that's going to help us talk about the psychology of hair. But Cheryl and I, we're going to have to take a half an hour on that. That's going to be deep. I want Cheryl to really set the tone for this whole thing where we see people are using psychology and hair and connecting them together. So we need to talk about this a little bit more. I think that is it. Is there anything, Cheryl, that you want to cover before we wrap this up? And thank you so much, Mr. Latif. I can't wait to.
I got one announcement before we
okay, sure. Go ahead. Sure.
I just wanted to let y'all know that I am working with some people, and we're bringing in Dr. Umar on June 12th. At 6 p.m. at the Uptown Grill in Bedford Heights. So be on the lookout for that. Me and my man Ken Dow. And I work with, podcasters and people, influencers like yourselves. And we just try to put together, whether it's promotions or events or whatever, networking, we just try to put things together, for people to have a good experience.
All right. So Clevelanders, if Dr. Umar is your thing, then make sure you go over to his IG page, that's Schoolhouse 91, and you'll learn more about Dr. Umar. Is it Johnson or Jackson before messing?
Dr. Umar coming to Cleveland June 12th at the Uptown Grill in Bedford.
All right. That's coming soon. All right. Okay.
Johnson.
It's Johnson. Umar Johnson. Okay. Sorry.
Umar, okay.
Okay, I said Jackson. Okay, so don't mess up the man's name. Dr. Umar Johnson is coming to Cleveland in Bedford Heights at Uptown Grill. Make sure you check out Mr. Latif over on Instagram and right here on Facebook.
And don't forget, we got that Fête du Jour coming up at the end of the month. The last Sunday of the month. And we are coming to Love My Hair School of Cosmetology in University Heights with my girl Lovey. So we'll be over there celebrating another entrepreneur, another hairstylist, somebody that's doing great things in the business. So we'll be over there for Fête du Jour for this month.
Yeah, and we'll see if we can get her on as a guest, okay? All right, okay, Mr. Latif, you are the bomb.com. We appreciate you guys every month, every day, I should say every month. Every day, we appreciate all that you are doing for us right here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. And you know what we say when we're signing out, right? Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. Thank you so much, Mr. Latif. I'll be calling you ASAP.
Thank you,
brother. I appreciate you.
All right. Have a good night, good people.
Welcome to Planet Pluto.